Now we're going to be doing Order of Operations Part 2. I separated this one because it has a fraction, and sometimes people get a little freaked out over fractions. So I made it a section of its own. So here's our original problem right here. And I know it looks a little overwhelming at first, but really, if we follow those rules of GEMDAS and we follow our checklist, it makes it actually pretty simple. So let's start. When we have this fraction, this problem, the first thing we're looking for is that G, the grouping. And this is why I like GEMDAS better than PEMDAS, because I don't see any parentheses, but I do see a grouping symbol. Remember, this big fraction bar right here groups everything together on the top, so we're going to have to solve this top portion first. And it groups everything together on the bottom, so we're going to have to solve the bottom portion separately. So let's not even worry about the bottom part first. Let's just focus on this top portion, which is called the numerator. So let's work this out. First of all, I don't see any grouping or parentheses on the top of the fraction, but I do see that e, that exponent. So that's where I need to start. 8 to the second power, remember, is not 16. 8 to the second power means 8 times itself. And 8 times 8, we get 64. And then we still have that minus 13. So to get our final number on the top, we have to subtract 64 minus 13, which gets us 51. A lot of people get caught up and they stop right there and they accidentally put 51 for their answer. But remember, 51 is just the answer on the top. So now we need to work everything out on the denominator for the bottom. And again, we go back to our checklist, back to that GEMDAS. So I don't see any grouping on the bottom, but again, I do see an exponent. So that's where we need to start. 3 to the third power is not 9. 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. And 9 times 3, we actually get 27. And then I still have that 14. I still have the plus sign. And I still have the divide 9. So can we add 14 plus 27 next? No, because according to our checklist, any multiplying and dividing has to come before anything that's adding and subtracting. So since I have a dividing, that part has to come next. 27 divided by 9 is 3. But we still have this addition and we still have that 14. So the last step is actually the adding. And 14 plus 3, we get 17. But remember, that's not our final answer. That's just the answer for the number in the denominator, or in the bottom. And 51 divided by 17, I know you're thinking it doesn't divide, but it actually does. 51 divided by 17 is actually just 3. So that whole big problem that looked pretty scary in the beginning, it really just simplifies to 3.